Well, let's continue for the new ones, the new people added today watching this. My name is Miguel Hernandez. I am from Colombia. I'm living in Canada right now, working for a miniatures company as a digital sculptor. And it has been working for collectibles, another game things on the past, doing character. My passion is works on characters, design, and now these days Sculpt, I think, is my main passion. I love to draw, but I think that the Sculpt is other level of the drawing process and you can see the things in 3 dimensions and many angles. You have a lot of expression. You can do anything here in this software in ZBrush. I usually work in ZBrush. I worked in Maya before when I started to do this and doing base meshes, but I changed my workflow. Now I do things directly here in ZBrush because I consider that you can express many things and it's a really useful tool to work a little bit faster, I think so. And I think it's a completely destructible workflow, so it's interesting. Sometimes when you're working on characters, if you want to change all the thing at the end, it is possible. You have many tools or way to do that. Well, the idea is not, have a good plan, create good base meshes before go too far on your design. That whatever if something happens that you need to change this thing, it is possible with this software. Okay, a few weeks ago, we have been working on anatomy. My main goals on my sculpts on this day is focus on get a really good anatomy. I consider that I'm still studying anatomy. You can not study anatomy doing a project. I mean, you have to constantly or continuously learn about anatomy because each character or each project has new shapes because the body changes many times. If you move something of your on your hand, or if you are moving your arm, this will change anything on your body. So each pose is a complete whole new universe when you are working in a project. For that reason, I consider that you need to learn every day. Well, if you are working on this world of do collectibles or characters, every time working of anatomy is a new learning journey. For me, I consider that. So never stop to do that. Never stop to review all artistic studies about anatomy, medical studies about anatomy. Okay. I think that a good advance on the anatomy on these characters. Remember that I want to work on this character that I have here. It's kind of Colombian superhero, I think so. Well, it's not a Colombian superhero because it's not related with the country. It's because it has a really nice history behind. A character that a company there in Colombia made in the 80s years. So I wanted to work on that character a long time ago, and this is the opportunity to study. Okay. Then I have to take a lot of reference to do my anatomy things. Let me open another files of reference here. Yeah. Well, you can see here in the reference that the back, for example, has many different shapes. When you move the arms through your back, or you move the arms in this position, in 90 degree position, the behavior of the back is totally different. So for that reason, each study of the character before start to school is important. I know that the ideal way to do this is get find a reference with the post that you are working, but it's too difficult unless that you have a model with a good anatomy body. Well, for these superheroes character, you need a workout man or something like that, you know, to take pictures. But it's difficult. Even you can use a man in the real world trying to do this pose and keep long time, take pictures. You know, this is more half natural reference and imagination, you know, because it's a character that has superpowers and is applying super strange on another character on the diorama. So it's okay, use the learning process or your skills on know the anatomy of how the muscles and tendons are connected one to each other, observation and experimentation. I think so. Yeah, it's like do the things one time, it's not working, do it again. You know, it's more experiment. If working, see many times. Be have absolute criticism on your own work. But for example, on these forearms, the forearms are too complex because the muscles and the tendons there sometimes twice or flip one over the other, depend of the motion. In this case here, I want complete twist movement to grab this big teeth from the creature. One of my reference points is I want to mark my hand, the palm of my hand should have this shape. Let me apply the Dynamesh, the Super Dynamesh tool. I love this tool. Sorry, this is too low. Okay. This is the way that I told you that is a completely destructible workflow, because if you apply this tool, for example, you can reorganize your topology every time that you apply Dynamesh on the things that you're working. But maybe you can take much care about topology don't think in topology on these things. This is sculpting. Okay, I know that as way as you see this as these look like polygons, but the polygons are useful for other things like make textures, or if you need to do a topology to make some kind of hard surface things. Here you have to consider the polygons or the vertex of the edges, but not here. Just imagine this like a chunk of clay. Please, is the best way to enjoy this, okay? Because it's the artistical way to express yourself with the software. If you think in technical things, sometimes you will feel frustrated about the things are not working really well as the other, but the main thing is try to enjoy this and do experimentations constantly. You know, if you fail, when you will do it again, maybe you will fail again, but you will learn about these fails a lot. I failed a lot in the past. I'm constantly failing, I think. It's okay to do mistakes, you know. Let me show you a little bit of the progress on this anatomy. Okay, remember that we leave this character on this. I think so. No, yeah, this. Remember that we use this kind of basic shapes to have a length reference of each arm. Look, this mesh is too low, but on this level it's really easy to add big chunk of pieces, reform, redo shapes, get silhouettes, because it's really quickly. Look the thing or way in a general way, in a general interpretation of the idea that you have in mind. You know, see the things in global really quickly, in a global way, you know, to get the silhouette really quickly. Then we started to adjust proportions following the same workflow, I think so, the same tools, using this kind of stuff as reference for my lengths. Then after this, I think that this was the last one. Let me hide this creature. We are focusing on the character right now. Okay, I think that works for me as a good base shape, because in general the pose work for me. I think that I feel enough motion dynamism on it, and here I started to apply more levels of subdivision on the dynamesh. Now also the level of subdivision on the dynamesh. Okay, because we have this here on the dynamesh. The resolution will get to us more polygons on the surface to add details and see new shapes every time that you increase the resolution. For example, if I want to do a line here, it's a really smooth line I can define shape, but I want to define more small space, small chunks of pieces, define lines and sharpen some borders. So I need to add more level of resolution, maybe increase the double. Yeah, I have more. If I apply the same brush, the damn standard brush, you can see you can use this tool as a knife and draw over the shape to get new forms on the anatomy and get new volumes. Try to attack this or try to use your hand movement or your pen motion. Try to get soft from the just touch. Or okay, I'm working on a Wacom pen table, not a pen display, just a pen table. I like to do this, just use a lower pressure on my hand with the table, just go smoothly. I don't know how to say it. It's just touching the things really softly and then press hard until you get a big chunk of piece come out from the character. This clay build to brush came from this Hardest Alpha. Sometimes it's useful if you want to get sharpened edges to see, but I like to use this with this. This Alpha is default for default in the software. Alpha 48. This is a sphere with some kind of gradient, and you can get a smoothness applying on the surface. You know, is not hard, it's smooth, and you can working with the default intensity levels is okay. If you want to apply more, you will get stronger shapes or stronger lines, even if you make more pressure on your pen. But look at this, we create a belly. So please take care about draw over your mesh, because this is 3D, and using the each brush will create two things: a dip and you will create a peak, or you will create a hole. Crap things. Okay. I have a big C intensity, so 20 is okay. This, and talking about that, pay attention that look the character in many ways, many angles, because this is 3D. If you are working just in the front of the character, something maybe is wrong on the side view, or in the 3/4 back view, on the 3/4 front view, on an upper view, or down, really down view. Yeah, try to rotate your model every time that you need to see what happened. I have to do this many times, many times. Well, once you start to increase your resolution, you start to create new shapes. Following the reference, following the anatomy, you start to create these muscle shapes, connections, and lines on the character. Okay, so don't worry. I know that I don't know how to explain really well, but on my first characters, the anatomy was really wrong. I know that, but working on each project learned it to me multiple I don't know how to say, multiple things in my I don't know how to say. Well, let me try to explain better. I mean, I do some things using memory, because I have experience working on many other characters. So for that reason, I have to say that please constantly study on each project and try to remember the things, and you will create a memory to work on further projects. Now I'm looking reference, but I use the reference and the things that I have in my mind, so it's 50-50, Sometimes I look, I follow the reference. Sometimes I have to use my intuition or my experience to see, okay, yeah, this muscle, I don't have a reference, exactly reference for this, but I know that I have multiple groups of muscle there on the deltoids that are connected with this brachial muscle, and have the basis muscle that is connected on this way, and the pectoralis muscle, the major pectoralis muscle is connected behind the deltoids and behind the bases with the bones. Yeah, all that's these things that you learn on anatomy will improve your skills, but it's a constantly learning process for me. Yeah, then I started to follow down. I chose the left arm, then the major pectoralis, the abs below the major pectoralis, and here my character started to change more, because I saw that I needed increase the thickness of the character, because I want to do some kind of superheroic and exaggerated body. So here looks too natural for me on that moment. I thought, okay, I don't want to do hyper realistic anatomy right now. No, okay. So my idea is to an idealistic character. So I started to add more volume and exaggerate the muscles, the dorsal muscles, the arms, the pectoralis muscle. I know that looks rare, sometimes unproportional things, but is a little bit expression too, that you have to know the basic things to start to experiment with muscle expression or body motion expressions. Because yeah, if you want hyperrealism, you can take a picture or something like that, Also, I consider that the old great sculptors in the old Greek or the old Renaissance artists were on this way too, try to idealize the body and exaggerate the beauty of the bodies to put this expression and emotions on the marble sculpts. I'm not comparing with this artist. Absolutely, I have to learn a lot. I know. But yeah, my main way on my school is try to express something too, not just copy anatomy. No, it's try to express, okay, I want that the character feels impression from the creature. I want that the character feel fear or some kind of that feelings on an static piece, because at the end it will be probably an static piece. If you try to just copy anatomy, you will get a boring piece. I think I consider that you need to add your own expression or each thing, you know. For example, here the leg changes a lot from here to here, because I noticed that okay, this is a good base, but I need to increase the thickness as I started to increase the thickness of the torso, so the legs should look thick too, you know. And I had to start to increase the thickness and the volume on the legs at the same time. And yeah, look for good reference to see what happened there on my legs, you know, on the gluteus, what kind of muscles are connected one to the back and to the gluteus and the legs. Okay, also have to fix the other leg to start to add the properly muscles forms on the behavior with this and this is my final stage for now. Yeah, because as you can, if you can, or you will see constantly on my process, if I'm speaking, also I'm looking what need to change or add every time. Sometimes is a good idea stop to work on one project one day. Sorry. Jump to another project or another things itself on the same project. Turn off the anatomy of the body and work on another things. When you turn on again, you will see, oh, okay, I need to change this, because your eyes used to see the same themes again and again and again and again, and you will lose some kind of magic sometimes. But when you see the things many times after close your software or after stop to work on the project the other day, you will see new things. It's interesting, but this happens to me many times. Yeah, sometimes okay, I consider that I think it's okay, the character for now, but once I reopen the project, I see, okay, what happened if I add more forms on that hip, because I will create a nice torsion effect with the muscles. I wanted to increase the weight of the bone has to be exposed below the skin, you know. For sure, I will close this project and I will see another things to fix further. But for now, I wanted to explain more things to you. Okay. For example, I have here this hand. I'm not working on symmetry, so I have to just duplicate this and apply the deformation, mirror, and I am use this base shape reference for the hands. I wanted the character to make this kind of pressure to try to open the mouth of the creature. Okay,